All right. This is a lawsuit that I want to bring up because this is the international side. So we have a former Arizona State University basketball player fighting for the NIL money for international college athletes. So right now, from what I understand, because I don't know completely all of this, but international athletes are not eligible for NIL because of the certain visa they have to come here to play. So they are fighting for the use their likeness because NCAA can still use their likeness, but don't have to pay them. So now this is why I'm saying that these lawsuits are coming. This is where a lawsuit comes in. So expectations are high for collegiate athletes, workout competition, academic rigor. Some are rewarded with name, image, likeness, NIL deals. Others, such as former Arizona State women's basketball player Last-Tear Poa, are not because their student visa status prevents international athletes from earning NIL money. The Australian is correct that and filed. The Australian is seeking to correct that and filed a lawsuit in late 2024. It is still working its way through the legal system. While Arizona State University's season came to an end against Virginia on March 19th, Poa's impact on college athletics might not be quite finished. International collegiate students such as Poa make up 7% of participants, more than 1,400 athletes in NCAA Division I sports, according to NCAA's 2024-2025 demographic base. At last year's March Madness basketball tournament, the number was about 15%. NIL was introduced. We're not going to talk about the NIL was introduced. We know that. I think just being able to change, not just for me, but for people behind me and up and coming, said Poa, who played at ASU after transferring from LSU, where she competed on a team that won the national title in 2023. The Australian coming through international. What the heck? The Australian coming through internationals coming through. Okay. I want them to have the opportunity because coming into college, it's not fair because I've been through it all. Yeah. Poa 24 filed a lawsuit for the military of Louisiana in October 2024 after a petition for the PI-A visa was denied by the U.S. Citizens and Immigration Services. That visa would enable her to earn money as an athlete at an internationally recognized level of performance. The PI-A visa is solely for the purpose of performing at a specific athletic competition. Okay. By September, Louisiana-based judge Brian Jackson denied the request to dismiss the lawsuit, leaving the door open for international athletes to apply for a type of visa that would make it easier for them to make money in the U.S. while playing college sports. On the way to a national championship with LSU in 2023, Poa was surrounded by players such as Angel Reese, Blue Jay, Mona Johnson, who were earning significant NIL money. It was frustrating for her to watch her teammates secure opportunities with brands, so she decided to use her platform at a powerful sports school to raise the issue. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because that right there is what I was talking about was going to happen to a lot of the athletes who aren't getting NIL deals. Now, she was a part of a championship team, so she is still in the top 1%. Man, 0.1%. Ain't no one winning NCAA championships like that. But most players on these teams don't have NIL deals. And when they don't have NIL deals, just like she said here, where is it at? It was frustrating for her to watch her teammates secure opportunities with brands while she couldn't get anything. This is what I was talking about, how the NCAA dropped the ball. I constantly bring this up, but I have to drill this home. It's going to cause a rift in the team dynamic when 1 or 2 or 3 players have NIL deals making millions. Because most scholarship athletes are only if you're lucky. Now, of course, I played in 2009, 2013, so inflation is a lot more. But I can assume you might be getting $2,000 a month if you're lucky, or less. I was getting paid $854.67. $954.67. I'm sorry, $954, not $800. When someone's only making $2,000 a month and they can't even work, and that's everything, and you have someone else, your teammate, making millions of dollars, how do you think they're going to feel? They're going to be pissed. not only going to be pissed, they're going to be, as I said earlier, they're going to be more liable for gambling, more liable for corruption, more liable for someone to come in, hey, you should just do this point shaving so my poly marketing can do well. You are essentially incentivizing people to have animosity for their teammates. Because now it's not all, we're all together in this. No, I have millions of dollars, you don't. And I'm telling you this as someone who played pro, which is why most places I played in, when I was overseas especially, you weren't allowed to talk about your salary. It was explicitly written in your contract. If you bring up your salary, the contract's void. Because they understood that the moment I'm making $25K a month and someone else is only making $1,000 a month, they're going to get real upset. And now you're starting to see this in college. Imagine the people you don't hear about. She's big enough because she won a championship. Imagine the people we don't hear about, the people who are in the bench, who are in the middle of the pack, who don't have NIL deals. Imagine how they're feeling right now. They can't get a deal even if they wanted to. Don't get it twisted. NIL is only for the top 10% of players. Most players aren't going to be able to see the traditional NIL deal. The only way the people below the 10% are going to see those NIL deals is to create the brand for themselves, which is why I constantly preach it in this channel. You got to create your own brand. You got to become marketable on your own. And then they will come to you because how valuable, how many eyes are watching your videos? How many people are going searching you up? That's the only way you can get I'm gonna call it the non-traditional NIL deal. The traditional NIL deal, which is what she's fighting. I mean, this girl won a national championship. I didn't even do that. And I get it. I'm not gonna say that she can be frustrating. You still won a national championship. Don't get that twisted. There's very few people, if 10,000 people had national championships around the world, you got one. I'm the type of person, once I started, I'm going to keep going until they say no. I appreciate that. I'm not saying his name, I will butcher it. A sports immigration lawyer and partner at Florida-based law firm Green and Spiegel is representing Poa pro bono in the case. Well, of course you're going to represent him pro bono, because if you win, you're going to get the money on the wins. Marivoa's motivation is for college athletes from the U.S. and abroad to be treated equally. Okay. I like the PR. Marinova argues that I'm going to call her Marova. I'm going to say Marova. If I'm getting it wrong, I'm sorry. Marova argues that the primary purpose of college athlete is not to study, but to play basketball at an elite level and benefit from NIL payments as much as possible. I actually agree with this right here. Not this, but this is true. The primary purpose for college athletes is not to study. Yes, that is absolutely true. I'm so this is why I like representing, like talking about the other side. That's true. Their purpose is not to study. Their purpose is to play at an elite level, so all that money can go to the university. The university has other students that do their 4.0s and 4.1s and 4.2s and goes through the educational track and does research papers and grants. They got people for that. Your job isn't about studying. That's just a ruse to try to fake everyone, because they don't want to straight up tell people, well, your athletes, we just want them for the money. That's all. So that is definitely true. It tracks with the guidance by the Department of Homeland Security. Marova, oh, come on. Get out of here. It tracks with the guidance by the Department of Homeland Security, Marova said, and that the P1s can attend school full-time as long as academics are sort of an ancillary to the primary purpose, and that primary purpose is being athletic. Very true. Especially for international athletes. They're not paying you to come here to go to school. They're paying you, hey, we need you to win games for us. So that is definitely true, especially in the international side. Now, I can't say that as an American myself, but I can guarantee that's exactly what those are. In a country such as Australia, where academic alternatives to LSU and ASU are available, the driving force behind POA's POA's move to the US was athletic opportunity, which is very true. Mirova also argued the P1A visas have been granted to college athletes before. Last year, South African golfer was granted one as a college golfer at the College of Charleston. All right, I'm not going to go. Oh, yes, that was over. A victory for Mirova and her colleague on the case would be if POA is approved for a P1A visa. Mirova is unsure if the case could result in precedent for other international college athletes. It would have to progress through the courts before it becomes impact litigation. That is true. Of course, not going to comment. POA is closing out a season in which she. Oh, yeah, we're not going into this. All right, yeah, all right. That's basically the article. And the reason why we're talking about all this is the fact that most people, granted, she's fighting her own battle, and I wish her luck on her battle, because I definitely know the international players. I played with one myself, a Serbian, Nikola Satinovic. So I know what it's like. I played with them. I can't imagine what he was going through at the time. But let's not get this twisted, as I said earlier. Most people will not see NIL, even in the D1 level. Most of you won't see NIL deals. If you want to increase your chances to have an NIL, you must become marketable and just be sports. I'm not saying sports are important and it can't carry a massive load, because it can. But the better your brand, the higher chance you have to becoming an NIL deal. This is where YouTube comes in. This is where creating your own website, creating your own community, creating like I said, a behind the scenes. Hey, this is how I prepare. Show people the behind the scenes of how your game preparation's like. Within reason. Don't do it so much where you're distracted, but do it enough where some people can get a peek in what it looks like when you're preparing for a game. Not saying it will be massively popular or if it will work or not, but it creates a storefront for you. When people look you up, that's what they'll find. They'll say, oh, this guy's pretty good. I mean, he has something I can market to. You get enough followers, especially for the younger kids. You guys, I mean, young kids are wizards on social media at this point. Create your own content, but make sure it's mature, not mature, but you need to have discipline, just like in your sports. You can't just be swearing off a storm. If you have something you believe in, stand by what you believe in, because anyone can smell inauthenticity a mile away. If you're inauthentic, people will walk away from you. Stay authentic with who you are. Learn to adapt. Be wise. Learn from others. And if you can do that, you can maintain your power and leverage so you can control your NIL deal, not just receive one. As much as I can't stand her, that's what Angel Reese does. Even though she's paying for it, because now people around her don't like her anymore. But she's marketable. She's everywhere. She knows how to be combative enough to where now everyone's talking about her. She's marketable now. That's why she's making the money she's making. You don't have to go down that route. I think personally that's just an immature way of doing it, but it does draw clicks. I'm not even going to deny that. But just like she just experienced, which I'll have a video on that later, she just got traded because people don't want to deal with her no more. And she's going to spiral. Like, mark my words, she's going to spiral. And once she starts spiraling, then who knows what's going to happen. But I won't go into that. But that's basically what I wanted to talk about today. It's that people are pushing for these NIL deals. You already have the power to control your brand. You don't need an NIL deal. You can create your own community. You can create your own stuff. YouTube, you can use YouTube. So there are avenues that you can use that can go around all these legislations. Everything right now is controlled by the NCAA, their institution of NIL. Like I said, all NIL is branding. Brand yourself. The question you need to ask yourself is, what do you want to be known by? You want to be known by as a basketball player? Or for me personally, do I want to be known as a basketball player? Do I want to be known as a talk show host for Be On the Court? Do I want to be the geek, that the anime? What did my friend call me? The weeaboo. My anime weeaboo. It doesn't matter what it is, but ultimately you need to create a brand and image for yourself. Take control over that image, so they must come to you to market anything. All right. See you in the next video.